It says the Mississippi River and Tributaries Project, which of course is how we pay for flood control and levees. The Mississippi River and Tributaries Project has prevented more than $1.5 trillion, not billion, trillion, in flood damages since 1920, or $95 for every $1 invested. This is from your website. How was this compiled, that data compiled, General?
Yes, sir. So it's simply taking the cost of the project and comparing it to the benefits that you're describing. Structure saved, acres preserved, recreation opportunities. So it's a comparison between the simple math between the cost and benefits.
Picture this. You've just found out the government could have saved us $2.70 trillion. Yeah, trillion with a T, on flood damages, but barely anyone's talking about it. That's exactly what happened when Senator John Kennedy grilled Army Corps General Scott Spellmon in a tense Capitol Hill hearing.
America has been blessed in many ways, and sometimes I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse, and be a little bit of both. In some parts of our country, we have too much water. In other parts, we don't have enough, and we depend on you and your team to manage that, and I know that's difficult.
Now, Kennedy's not a guy to tiptoe around. He started by laying out the facts. America's got a water crisis. Then, he hit home with the Morganza levee story from Louisiana.
We have a levee project in Louisiana called the Morganza to the Gulf Project. Now, it's not complete, work in progress, but that's been completed thus far through a combination of state, federal, and local money. My people taxed themselves to build this levee system.
He thanked them for their work, but then, boom, he called the system for picking and paying for flood projects broken.
In 2005, Hurricane Rita came through, terrible storm, 9-foot storm surge. 11 to 12,000 homes of my people were damaged. It's a lot of people and a lot of homes and a lot of human misery.
Fast forward to 2019. Same kind of storm, but only 11 homes damaged.
In 2019, after we had made progress on the Morganza to the Gulf levee system, another storm, this one Barry, came through, just as bad, same level of storm surge, same level, 9 feet. 11 homes were damaged. So we went from 11 to 12,000 homes damaged to 11 as a result of your good work. And I want to talk today about how we factor into our cost-benefit analysis that kind of good work that you have done.
But here's the kicker. Kennedy read out that $2.7 trillion figure from the Corps' website.
Well, General, I misspoke. I said 1.5 trillion. The real figure is 2.7 trillion, which your work has prevented. $2.7 trillion in damages. And your economists, you stand by that number, I assume.
Yes, sir.
And your economists have a way to come up with that number.
That's correct.
It just makes no sense to me if we can quantify by building a flood control project that we wouldn't make that one of the determining factors in the cost-benefit analysis. I mean, I gave you the statistic. The Morganza to the Gulf levee system prevented flooding to 12,000 homes, and you can quantify that. Don't you think we ought to change the formula a little bit?
So the way you're describing a loss prevented is a benefit of these projects. The Morganza example, I would argue, sir, we have many of those. We have many Morganzas across the country that we have to get better on in resourcing. Yes,
I'm going to ask you one quick question the time I have left.
And just when you thought it couldn't get crazier, Kennedy called out a local flood canal project.
The price of the Comite River Diversion Canal has gone up $500 million. How? I know inflation, but wow.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
What are we going to do about that?
Sir, you've got inflation down. The thing that we're taking on, this is a great example where we have to get better at communicating to the committees and to Congress and administration the cost estimates that we give you in a chief's report in paragraph 11. And we give you a number with some decimal points on it for a project that may be constructed down the road, but what we don't give you is the percent design that cost estimate is based on. So in a 3x3 study, a district might get to a 10% level design, or a 4-year study, they might get to 25%. And then as that design is mature, like it is now today in Comite, you're finding that there are additional requirements that we get as we get deeper into the geotech and to the sizing of some of these structures. That's what we're experiencing here.
But Kennedy wasn't buying it. So here's the big question. Shouldn't we focus on what we're saving, not just what we're spending? Kennedy thinks so. And honestly, he's got a point.
To you and
How
others.
did we get that number? We got a hell of a mess here, General. Okay, my people expected this to be done. We brought it in on time. I mean, and then all of a sudden, bam, $500 million. How are we going to get this price down?
Sir, you have our commitment that we're going to work through this. We're committed to finishing this. I don't have all the answers here today. I can share my commitment that we will get this done.
What do you think? Should long-term savings matter more in these billion-dollar decisions? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit subscribe, and stick around, because I'll be breaking down more of these government showdowns minus the political drama. Thanks for hanging out. See you next time.